In this video, I'm going to share the 7 lessons that I've learned in the last 14 days by posting 7 videos on my new YouTube channel. You ready? Let's get into it. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Matt and I'm a high performance coach based in the UK. And normally what you'd see on this channel are strategies, tools and tactics to help you become your best and achieve better than expected results in business, fitness and life. However, right now I'm undergoing a mini challenge that I've set for myself, which is posting 47 videos in 47 days as part of joining Ali Abdal's part-time YouTuber Academy. Today I'm going to be updating you on my journey to posting 47 videos in 47 days, why I've set myself that challenge, and the 7 lessons that I've learned by posting my first 7 videos. So a couple of weeks ago I signed up to Ali Abdal's part-time YouTuber Academy in order to learn how to launch a successful YouTube channel. One of the first lessons that I picked up on joining the academy was that your first 50 videos are the ones that get you going on your channel. So I thought, why don't I fast track that process, and instead of posting 1 video a week, which will take me about a year to get to 50 videos plus, why don't I condense that time into 2 months and look to post 47 independent videos myself, plus an additional 6 videos that we're required to post as part of the Academy's curriculum. Now you might be thinking that posting 6 videos over the duration of 6 weeks whilst you're on the course is hard enough, but I wanted to make it a lot more challenging for myself to really determine whether or not posting on YouTube and posting regularly on YouTube and the lessons and the additional skills and tools that I pick up as a result of going through this process is going to be worthwhile for me in the long run. To paraphrase Elon Musk, why not condense a year's worth of learning down into 2 weeks? His example was condensing 10 years of progress into 6 months, which is why I decided on 47 videos. Also, at the time I came up with the idea, it was 47 days from the day that I thought of the idea to the end of the course, which means creating a video a day while still being on the course, which is quite challenging in itself. However, going through that process and putting myself under a little bit of additional pressure would enhance my learning and help me identify which part of the process I enjoy, which part of the process I need to outsource in the long run, and whether or not the overall concept of creating and posting videos on YouTube and becoming a content creator is something that I am any good at, whether or not I can improve at it, and whether or not I enjoy it in the long run. So right now I am heavily in the learning phase. I've got very limited knowledge about, shooting videos, talking into camera, scripting, lighting, sound, editing, thumbnails, titles, all that kind of stuff. A lot of this is new for me, which has in turn encouraged me to actually spend time researching and improving certain areas where I have the least amount of knowledge, which is probably all areas. As a result, some of the things that I'm starting to learn right now are scripting YouTube videos. So I did spend sort of 10 minutes scripting out what I wanted to present on this video, which has been super useful because at least I have a rough idea in my mind as to what I'm going to be talking to you guys about. Also, the editing process, cutting and adding B-roll and adding soundtracks and making sure the sound in itself is alright. All of these are useful tools and skills that I am learning as part of this process. Because I put myself under that little bit of extra pressure, the intention for me is to learn them very quickly so that I can then focus on producing better content incrementally over the course of the next 47 days. So if you look back at the first video that I posted right here, you'll see I shot it in my bedroom. The lighting wasn't great. I was sitting next to a window. I was shooting on my iPhone, which is all good. But since then, even as I'm talking to you right now, I've managed to set up a nice little studio area. The lighting, yeah, it's probably not quite right, but it's a lot better. The sound, definitely better because I'm talking into a mic. And the overall presentation, in my opinion, has already improved, and that's only over the last 14 days. That being said, let me take you through the 7 lessons that I've learned. Lesson 1, screw it, just do it. Ages ago I read a book by Richard Branson when he was starting off at Virgin, and that was the title of the book, Screw It, Just Do It. So, I've been umming and ahhing about starting my own YouTube channel for a long time now. And I wasn't quite sure what sort of content I wanted to post on it. And then, a culmination of ideas came together. I had to remember what Gary Vee was saying in terms of documenting, not creating content. So this is me right now documenting my journey to producing 47 videos in 47 days. And the reality is, you never know whether or not you're going to be any good at something, or whether or not you can do something unless you try and do it. So that being said, I thought, fuck it, screw it, just do it, and start posting videos on YouTube, which is where I'm at right now. The second lesson I've learned is that talking into the camera is hard. You would have already noticed on this video that I have periods where I'm quite confident in what I'm saying, and periods where I'm looking down because I'm trying to think of what my next sentence is and that type of stuff. So talking into the camera is hard, regardless of who you are. And I know you get better at it as you go along. Again, if you look at my first video compared with this video right now, I think I have made some improvements in terms of talking to camera. There's definitely a long way to go, but for me, improvements have been made, which is a positive sign and will encourage me to keep going. One of the things that I was mulling over when I first started was whether or not to script out a whole video or whether to use bullet points. And I know both methods have been discussed on the Part-Time YouTubers Academy course. For memory, Ali uses a bullet point method, so just highlighting the main points rather than scripting the video. And I thought that's quite hard because for me to riff off the top of my head, especially when you're not used to talking to camera, is quite a challenge. But even that, 2 weeks down the road, I feel I've improved upon, but I can see that improvements are being made, which is awesome. Actually, one of the things that I have found has helped me with talking to camera is starting a blog and writing a lot more and putting my thoughts down clearly on paper, which will then help me construct sentences better and help with my overall thought presentation into camera. So I launched the blog again a couple of weeks ago, and you'll see the link in the description below if you want to check it out. And getting into a regular writing habit has certainly helped with my presentation as well, because I have to focus on sentence construction and not rambling and getting my point across succinctly rather than just going off on a tangent a little bit, which then makes you, the viewer, lose interest unless I can thread it all together, and I'm not quite there yet in terms of talking. So blogging I've found, and writing a newsletter as well, which I launched back in January, has been massively helpful in terms of not just scripting but also my general presentation into camera. The third lesson I've learned is actually spending time learning. So in the past, I have taken up a new skill or taken up a new hobby, and other than learning some of the fundamentals, I spend very little time actually diving deep and learning some of the corresponding elements that help with me improving that skill or getting better at that hobby. For example, talking right now to camera and posting a video on YouTube has a number of different elements to it. There's lighting, there's the camera position, there's the sound aspect, there's the scripting, there's going to be the editing and the post-production, there's going to be the thumbnail, there's going to be writing the title, there's going to be writing the description, there's then going to be posting it, making sure there's tags and hashtags and whatever else there is. So as a newbie, I am now spending the time and making notes, looking to improve just one thing in every video to help me improve my overall YouTube experience and help me provide you guys with better, clearer, more valuable content. Learning additional skills, learning complementary skills as part of this process, for me has been super useful and has been quite exciting actually, because I like jumping in with both feet. But the fact that I am focusing solely right now on improving my YouTube game has been massively helpful, because I know that it helps me just cut out any other distractions. The fourth lesson I've learned is you need to have fun with this process and you need to let your personality shine through. Now, I'm still a little bit wooden, still a little bit stilted because I'm not overly confident in presenting the camera and knowing what I'm going to say next and all that kind of stuff. So until I get to a point where I am more confident with the whole presentation aspect, I think incrementally my personality will start coming through a little bit more. I'll sound less like a robot, I'll have a bit more character on camera, but right now, I'm almost like a rabbit in the headlights. Not quite, but almost. And I think the more I put myself in this position, the more I can have fun with it, and the more personality you guys will see on camera. The fifth lesson I learned is to batch record your videos. So the first, I think, 3 or 4 videos that I recorded, I'd record on separate days and then spend time editing and then spend time posting. But that is quite time consuming, whereas now I try to batch record 2, 3, 4 videos in one sitting, and then I've got them there ready to go through the editing process and go through the production process and all that kind of stuff. And that is a much better allocation of time rather than shooting videos one by one, because it takes time to set up the lighting and the cameras, to make sure that I clear the space, because I don't have a prescribed studio. I need to set it all up in my home. So to do that, just to record one video, it's much better to block some time out, get everything set up, and then knock out 2, 3, 4 videos in one session, and then you're good to go. The 6th lesson I've learned is to spend time browsing YouTube to get ideas for the look and feel of your channel, the look and feel of your thumbnails, what sort of branding you want to have on your channel. And I'm still figuring that out. But the more I spend time on YouTube, the more I start to, get ideas of what other people are doing, what bigger channels are doing, and what I would like to incorporate as part of my channel. So I think spending time on YouTube to get an idea as to what has made other channels successful in terms of the look and feel, and developing your own look and feel on the channel is going to be super useful. I think it will take me, a few more videos to actually determine what sort of branding I want to have on the channel, how I want my thumbnails to look. And until then, it's just going to be a little bit of a scattergun approach for me. But, the more I spend time researching and checking out what looks good on other channels, the more I can tie together my own idea as to how I want my channel to look, and then set on a branding or a theme for the long term. And the 7th and last lesson that I've learned over the last 14 days is to focus on improving one thing in each video. Just one thing. In the past, when I have learned something new, I've always taken the approach of trying to improve everything at once. And you kind of lose steam taking that approach. So I've made a point, and I got carried away. I started taking that same approach in the first few videos that I shot on this channel, before catching myself and thinking, look, because this is a long-term project, just focus on improving one thing in each video. So whether that's the lighting or the camera position or the sound or the background or whatever it is, I want to have 1% improvement on each video, so that I can see the progress that I'm making from the things that I'm learning outside of just talking to camera and posting videos on YouTube. Because if I can't see incremental progress over the next 47 days, then really I'm not applying anything that I'm learning, and that isn't going to benefit me in the long run. And it will also signify to me that actually maybe this isn't something that I want to do in the long run. By improving one thing in each video will mean that I get more value from this challenge rather than trying to improve everything in one go. So in this video, I've played around with my lighting. So I've got a softbox light, I've got a little bit of background lighting. I did have a neon light which I wanted to put in shot, but it didn't look quite right. And I'm hoping that that improvement in this video in terms of the lighting can be seen from the previous 6 videos. So even though I've improved the lighting in this particular video, in the next video I'll focus on something else, and the subsequent video I'll focus on something else, before revisiting the lighting aspect and seeing how I can tweak and make further changes to my lighting setup to make the lighting even better later down the line. but by focusing on improving one thing in each video, I think helps as a YouTube newcomer, because then you're not overawed by all of the things that you have to do to try and make your video look and feel like perfection. That's it. Those are the 7 most important lessons that I've learned over the last 14 days by posting my first 7 videos on my YouTube channel. Hopefully you found that useful, and if you want to continue following my journey to see whether I reach the 47 videos in 47 days, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you get notified when the next video drops. Also, if you have any feedback or questions on anything that I've mentioned in this video, or you have any suggestions as to future content that you'd like to see on the channel, please drop a comment in the message box below. And if you like this video, you'll love this custom playlist that I made right here, which tracks the 47 videos in 47 days, so you can follow the journey video by video to see how it unfolds. And I hope that inspires you to start your own YouTube journey. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.